evening, good evening, good evening. Hold on. All right, is my sound good? Man, StreamYard. I cannot stand StreamYard. So how you doing, Miss Murphy? How you doing? In case you missed it, I didn't know I was muted. StreamYard, man. We back, man. Week 8. Is my sound good, Miss Murphy? This drop of one for my sounds good. StreamYard, man. It can be so finicky and funny at times. And trust me, they'll send me an email in about 2 hours. Mo, yeah, we had some difficulties. For real. Okay. All right. We're gonna kind of dive into week 8 action. We're gonna start with tonight's game, Buccaneers and Bills, and then we're gonna kind of flow like we normally do when we're breaking down these predictions and all of that good stuff. Like I said, this week is who's rising, who's falling. This is kind of make a break. We're almost at the midway point of the season. This is week 8. Trade deadline is coming up. Teams, are making moves. My team is not, unfortunately. But, hey, it is what it is. But at this point of the season, your season can either be over, or you have a chance to reclaim it or continue pushing forward and aiming for the top spot. But this is the kind of make or break point of the season. This is when you get into the meat and potatoes of your season. At this point, you are what you are. And it's very rare you see a team get drastically better at this point of the season, but it has happened before. We'll see if it happens this season. Like I said, I got too much stuff going on. How you doing out there? I got too much stuff going on. All right, so let's start with tonight's game. A very interesting game, very big game. In regards to standings and your records and that kind of stuff. Not that this is must see TV. Buccaneers and Bills on paper is not really must see TV. Tampa Bay fight for the number 1 spot in the NFC South. Buffalo coming off some very, last couple games, very lackluster performances, even though they did beat the Giants. Came down to a last second play, a no call, questionable no call. And then, losing against the Patriots, a 1-5 Patriots team just on Sunday. Short week. They are at home. Buccaneers coming off a loss, a very tough loss to the Atlanta Falcons. We'll see. We'll see. This, like I said, it's a big game as far as standings is concerned. Buffalo is in a fight right now, fighting for the division lead with the New York Jets, and on the outside looking in is not the New York Jets, excuse me, the Miami Dolphins. The Jets are the ones on the outside looking in. I'm sorry, y'all distracted. Screens everywhere. Y'all know how I get close to the weekend. Y'all know how I get. But yeah, Bills need to bounce back. They need to come out here and make a statement. If you're going to be looked at as one of the elite teams in the AFC, is going to be looked at one of the teams that could possibly challenge the Kansas City Chiefs from in the playoffs. These are the games you kind of have to win. The last 2 games, like I said, Buffalo has not looked good. Josh Allen has been a bit of a turnover machine, but he's been like that his whole career. But it's been more glaring the past couple of weeks. I'm expecting Stephon Diggs to be a very big focus of tonight's game as far as the offense is concerned. Buccaneers, very surprising start. Very surprising start to the season. Like I said, it is a short week. You are traveling. You're coming off a very tough loss. Defense for Tampa Bay has been good. Has been good the entire season. Offense has been okay. That's why they was able to kind of win some games, be in a position to challenge for the NFC South title at this point of the season. So I'm expecting a very good game tonight. I'm expecting a very good game. I'm not expecting a blowout, but I do have the Bills winning. I think Bills win within a touchdown. I don't think it's going to be that of explosive game, but hey, I've been wrong on those before. But I got Buffalo tonight, just because it's a short week, you're at home. I think you are, the much better team. So I'm gonna have to kind of give you the edge. But now, would it surprise me if Tampa Bay goes up there to Buffalo and wins on a short week, considering how bad Buffalo has looked the last couple of weeks? No, it wouldn't surprise me. So, like I said, this is a big start to this weekend's games. when you're talking about playoff positioning and that kind of stuff. These, we're in the middle of the season. This is where you kind of, separate the wheat from the chaff. Who's who and what's what. Looking forward to some other games on Sunday. A couple of the early games on Sunday I'm kind of interested in to kind of see, not because of the records, just because this is the intriguing matchups. You have the Jets, who look good in the last couple of outings, with Zach Wilson at the helm, coming off a bye week. So a well-rested team. Don't really have to travel because you are playing the Giants. Giants are considered the home team. Giants have looked okay. Have looked much better as far as play on the field with Tyrod Taylor starting. He has turned the ball over at times, but he has looked more comfortable in the pocket. Is offers a little bit more mobility than Daniel Jones. I'm not out completely sold on Daniel Jones. I'm not out on the Daniel Jones mark. It's just, it's been
at Publix.
it's been a rough start to the season. What the hell? Oh, I'm sorry, my soundboard. All right. Yeah. Discombobulated. StreamYard. You're killing me tonight. You're killing me tonight. But yeah, this is a game. Early start or 1:00 kickoff. I do think the Jets are playing a little bit better than the Giants. I'll be happy with a Giants loss. I don't care who it is, but I do think the Jets pull this one out. Like I said, I like what I've seen from the Jets, even though they've lost some games. They're in a position with how the AFC is kind of looking to possibly push not only for the division, considering how the Bills and the Dolphins have looked over the last couple of weeks, maybe push for the division, but really could be considered pushing for a playoff spot. So we'll see. We'll see. But I do have Jets winning a very close game against the Giants. Like I said, it's not really a home or away game. No team has an advantage in this one. But I got Jets. I got Jets over the Giants. We're looking at Jaguars and Steelers now. Y'all know I have been very hard on Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not a team. I'm not a guy that's believing in this team. Focus. Yeah, I'm focused. StreamYard has been messing me up today. Like, I've been working on some stuff, putting stuff together. It has been really messing me up because, and then they'll send me an email like 2 hours later. To oh yeah, we apologize. We had difficulties. No shit, but. But let me kind of get back into this because I want to kind of get into this Buccaneers Bills game. I want to kind of watch that very closely tonight. You got Jags and Steelers. I've been very critical of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are off to one of the better records in the AFC. I'm just not confident in this team just because I know the history of this team and just off what I've seen. They play well enough to win. The defense has played at a much higher level than I would have thought. At the start of this season. But when you really look at them on paper, they do have a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. Offense, it's kind of coming and going. I'm really looking forward to this one because Pittsburgh has, Pittsburgh's defense could give Jacksonville some problems. But I'm not sure what I'm getting from Pittsburgh on the offensive side of the ball. Kenny Pickett, for me, if I had to grade him, it'd be kind of like an incomplete, due to being out for injury for a while. And the offense this look, out of sync, not just with him in the passing game, but the running game also. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to pick Jacksonville on the road in Pittsburgh. I do think Pittsburgh, that was one of my dark horse teams coming into the season. But offense just has not taken that next step in their progression. It is a very young offense, pieces. You talk about a young running back, young quarterback, young receivers on the outside. Some young guys on the offensive line just has not come together, just not as gelled. Maybe they get it together at some point in the season, but right now, based on how Jacksonville's defense has been playing, I have to give them the edge against the Steelers on the road. Also on the road is the Philadelphia Eagles, sporting the best record in the NFC. Going against the Washington Commanders, I'm not picking the Commanders in an upset. I'm just not liking how disjointed this Washington team has been, especially on the offensive side of the ball. The defense has played well enough to win a lot of these games thus far this season for the Commanders, but the offense, I know they brought in Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator. Maybe it's an adjustment period. Maybe it's Sam Howell. Maybe he's not the guy for the Eric Bieniemy system. But it has been a rough start to the season as far as offense is concerned for the Washington Commanders. Like, they do have some pieces on that side of the ball that I like, but Had just not been able to put it together, and I'm not picking them against an Eagles team that seemed to have found their identity last week playing against the Miami Dolphins. Run, run, run. Now that may be a bit of a challenge running against a very talented Washington Commanders defensive line. But if you're Philadelphia, you had the recipe for success against the Miami Dolphins. That was the best they've looked all season. I be honest, I'm not a Philly fan. Y'all know that, but I got to give credit where credit is due. That was the best Philly has looked all season on both sides of the ball. So if they can keep it up with that formula, if they can bring that over into this game, I think they should be able to. It's going to be very tough to run against. As I said, Washington has a very good defense out there. But you got to stick with that. If you're Philadelphia, you want success. You got to be a balanced offensive team. If you're dependent on Jalen Hurts to be chucking it across the field 30, 40, 50 times a game, you're in trouble. But I don't think they're going to be in trouble. I just don't think Washington's offense challenges Philadelphia's defense enough to really give them a serious chance. But hey, this is a division game. You never know. Philadelphia's on the road. They may be looking past the Commanders, maybe looking ahead and looking ahead on the schedule. Considering who they got next up, they may be looking ahead. So this may be a bit of a trap game. Maybe a bit of a trap game. The Cowboys and Eagles game is the following Sunday. So, this may be a trap game for Philadelphia overlooking the Commanders. Miss Murph, just remember, when we beat you, when you come in, kindly grab the link and say some kind words to the people. Also back in action this weekend, them boys going against we're at home against a Rams team. I'm not going to overlook the Rams. Rams have played above their talent level in the season. Matthew Stafford has looked good. Puka Nacua, unknown wide receiver, has come in and really slid into that role. And he reminds me when you watch him play for a rookie. He's not overly fast. He's strong with the ball, but he's a very good route runner. He's a very good route runner. Like I said, on the Rams, for my, based on my preseason prediction, they have, overplayed the talent. I think Dallas, same thing I would say with Philadelphia. Same thing with Dallas. Don't look past the Rams. Trying to look forward to the game. You got to get there first. I do think the Cowboys win. I do think they put it together. I still am concerned about the red zone issues that the Cowboys have displayed thus far this season. That is still a red flag for me. Like I said, I'm a fan, but I got to be an analyst and tell the truth and speak on it. But I think this will be a very, very entertaining game. Matthew Stafford traditionally has had some success against the Dallas Cowboys defense from his time in LA and his time with Detroit. So, like I said, I'm not looking past the Rams. I think this will be a very good game. Don't take the Rams lightly. They have a lot of young players, a lot of unknown guys, but those guys have kind of stepped up just thus far early in the season. Keep it going with the Sunday early slate of games. You have Vikings, Packers. I'm not going to spend too much time speaking on that one. The Packers are at home, but I do have Minnesota winning. I think Minnesota offensively will be able to kind of put it together against a very very good Packers defense, but Packers offense has been kind of hit or miss. It could be an interesting game. It's always fun when you see division rivals kind of meet up. But if I had to boil it down to just one position, to be the quarterback position, and I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan, but I got more confidence in him than Jordan Love coming into this game. And it should be an entertaining game. But I got Vikings. Over the Packers. Another early slate game that's kind of intriguing: Falcons and Titans. Titans, who are in a quote unquote market to be selling off pieces. How what is the mindset of that team? Then of course you have the Falcons presumably rolling out Desmond Ridder. To my knowledge, we'll be rolling out Desmond Ridder as a starter. I told you guys, as long as Desmond Ridder is the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, I'm picking against them, and I'm gonna stick to it. I'm picking Titans at home. I think Derrick Henry kind of gets it going, and they overcome. They overcome the Falcons this Sunday. I said Desmond Ridder. I'm out, man. I'm out. I like him. I like him coming out of college. But he looks lost, man. He looks lost. I'm sorry, but another early slate games. You have Patriots, Dolphins. I got Dolphins. At home, kind of getting some get back on track as far as offensively. Patriots have came off a very big win, but could have easily lost that game. Came down to a last second touchdown. I think the Dolphins come out and try to punish and make a statement that they not only are the best team in that division, but they should be considered one of the best teams in the AFC. So I got Dolphins. I got Dolphins over the Patriots. Moving forward, you got Saints and Colts. I'm not going to really spend too much time on this one. I got Saints on the road. Colts, put up a lot of points last week. Gardner Minshew, but I think the Saints, come in with a little bit more focus, considering they're still in play for taking over this division. I'm talking about the NFC South, and I think the Colts are in, kind of a let's look at what we have here and how they add towards the future, especially with Anthony Richardson being ruled out for the rest of the season. I got Saints. I got Saints on the road. Texans and Panthers. Like I talked about this on Tuesday's show. Battle of the rookies. Texans are clearly playing at a better level than the Panthers. Panthers have. I thought the defense was going to be able to carry the young rookie. Through stretches of the season, just has not happened for the Panthers. So I got the Texans on the road, but I'm curious to see what they look like. Head-to-head matchup. Panthers still have a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. It just has not come together for this team at all. I'm not sure what the breakdown is. You got first year, not necessarily rookie head coach, but first year Frank Reich era. Bryce Young has had his struggles back there, and Texans have put CJ Stroud in a position to be more successful at this point. So I got Texans over the Panthers. Looking ahead, you got Browns and Seahawks. Could be a very could be must see TV for various reasons. It's always good to watch. If you watch the Cleveland Browns defense, Myles Garrett, man, and I love Michael Parsons, man, love him to death. I think he's one of the better defensive players in the NFL. But dude, Myles Garrett is on another level. I mean, to be able to be that athletic at the size that he is, to possess the blend of power and speed. At that, I don't think, maybe with the exception of Aaron Donald, I can't think of another defensive lineman that I've seen in the past 10 to 15 years that is that talented. I mean, because not only is Myles Garrett solid, outstanding against the run, just he is such a relentless pass rusher and is a very intelligent player, able to diagnose plays. I mean, some of the plays he made last week, man. If you go back and look at the tape, I mean, dude is, you talking about a freak athlete. A dude is like, I want to say Myles is like 6'5", 275, 280, and moves like that. Like I said, I love Micah, but Myles Garrett, he's in a class of his own right now. He's playing at a different level. I think Cleveland's defense gets it done on the road against the Seahawks. I predict Cleveland's defense is going to be able to kind of pressure Geno Smith into some mistakes, and I'm not really overly confident, even though the Seahawks defense has played better. I'm not overly confident in them. Now, I do have some question marks with as far as Deshaun Watson. Which one are we getting? Like I said, he's still kind of working through it. It's been rough to watch. It has been rough to watch. And in Cleveland, you're just gonna have to suck it up because you gave the guy all that money guaranteed. It's been rough, man. It has been rough watching him play the quarterback position this season. Gator girl, how you doing? Yeah, we gave this kind of we get it's some games that could pop off. Gator girl, come on, what's going on the front? It is some games that can kind of pop off. Yeah, I will be checking in on Bucks Sixers. Yeah, I like some of the NBA. Let me get back to my NFL. But it is some games that are kind of must see TV. And one of those games I think is going to be must see TV is the afternoon game. When we're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals against the San Francisco 49ers, the 49ers could be looking at the third straight loss after starting the season undefeated. I think this is an intriguing game because I have had these teams making deep runs, particularly making deep runs into the playoffs. It could still possibly happen. 49ers have hit a rough kind of stretch. The last two games, Cincinnati has been kind of hot and cold thus far this season. And you talk about talent wise, these are two of the most talented teams in the NFL. But if I had to pick, if you put a gun in my head and told me to pick, I'm just gonna go. A part of me wants to go Cincinnati, just because how the 49ers have looked the past couple games, but I don't see San Francisco losing three straight, especially not being at home. Put themselves into a position to kind of right the ship. Cincinnati, like I said, it's been kind of hot and cold now. If you allow Joe Burrow to sit back there and cook, and kind of like how Kirk Cousins did, since San Francisco could be in for a long day, but I think the defense kind of returns to form this week. I think the Vikings game was an aberration. Like I said, I haven't seen them make that many missed tackles and bad plays as far as play recognition in a minute. So I got 49ers. I think 49ers at home, like I said, it's just big. Kind of it's one of those kind of statement games. Be a statement game for the Bengals to be what is considered one of the best teams in the NFL right now. 49ers could reestablish their place in the hierarchy after having two very bad performances coming out. But I got 49ers. I got 49ers at home. Also looking forward to Chiefs Broncos, not because of record wise. I think Chiefs are going to win this game, but it's always nice to see divisional games because divisional games tend to be a little bit more close, a little bit more competitive. You're more familiar with the opponent, their tendencies, and that kind of stuff. So division games tend to be closer games, tend to be good games. But I'm not betting against any team in the AFC West to beat the Chiefs. But I think it just be good theater, good football to watch. But I do have Chiefs on the road against the Broncos. Broncos, if they had the defense that they had last year, I might I might reach and pick them, but no, I'm not. Defense has not played up to the standard I thought they would. Chiefs defense has played a lot better thus far this season. We are, almost at the midpoint of the season. So, it's not a facade. It's for real. They have a pretty good defense up there in Kansas City. But I got Chiefs. I got Chiefs on the road. There's no way I'm picking the Broncos. No way in hell. The Chiefs have won 12, 13 straight divisional games. I'm not picking against the Chiefs in this one. Just like I'm not picking against the Ravens, against the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals' attitude. They're a scrappy team, comes out there, play hard. Understand that, hey, we're not the most talented team out there, but we come out there and put forth the effort. And, I can appreciate that as a football fan. But Baltimore coming off a very good beat down to the Detroit Lions. Look to keep it going. I don't see the Cardinals really putting too much pressure on Lamar. I think Lamar kind of gets it going a little bit more in the passing game, like you saw last week. The run game is going to be what the run game is, but I think the passing game is where you look to see the improvement from the Baltimore Ravens. We know they can run the ball. Just you have Lamar in that backfield and the scheme that they run. But what makes Baltimore dangerous is when Lamar is able to kind of move the ball around, not just to Mark Andrews. You saw Zay Flowers had a pretty good game. When he's able to spread the ball around, and it opens up the field for more running lanes. That's when Baltimore is dangerous. That is when Baltimore is dangerous. I do think they beat the Cardinals. Nothing against the Cardinals. I like the effort that they put out there Sunday to Sunday, but eventually talent kind of wins out in a lot of times in the NFL. I got Ravens. They kind of wrap up week 8. Week 8, you got Bears, Chargers. It's not must-see TV. I'm confused of why this is the Sunday night game. For the life of me, I don't understand it. I don't know who's making the schedule at the beginning of the season. I don't see how you have Bears and Chargers as your Sunday night game, and I'm even more confused why you would have Raiders and Lions as the Monday night game. I do think Chargers kind of put it together and beat the Bears at home. I do think the Lions kind of get back focused and beat the Raiders at home. Like, who makes, you got to start looking at when you're making the schedule, man. When you're making the schedule, like, let me look forward here. What's the Sunday night game next week? Bills, Bengals. Okay, that I can dig that. Chargers and Jets Monday night. We're like, why? And I understand Jets being there because you presumably had Aaron Rodgers, but why the Chargers a prime time Monday game? If you would think any game on the schedule next week would be the prime time Monday game, Cowboys, Eagles at home too. Dolphins, Chiefs is the London game. Like, what is how you guys doing this? Let me look at this schedule. Ooh, what's week 10? Week 10, Sunday night game, Jets and Raiders. Like I said, I get the Jets. Why are the Raiders getting so many prime time opportunities? Like, who had that's not must see TV. Bills, Broncos, Monday night game. Like, what? Come on, man. Come on. Like, who makes you know what? I'm just happy to have football. I'm just gonna say I'm happy that Bears, Chargers. Like, in what world would I want that to be the prime time Sunday night game? The Bears. Like, come on, man. Bears, no. That's not a prime. I'm sorry, that's not a prime time game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's going on, Triggs? Yeah, I can't. But let me get my behind up out of here because, like I said, I want to sit back and watch tonight's game. I do think it'll be a very interesting game. Like I said, Bills Bucks tonight. Kickoff is at 8:15. I do want to kind of peek in on some of the NBA action. Speaking of that, Women Yamba looked good in the time that he did play. Dude, he got into a lot of foul trouble, but when he was on the court for stretches, and he looked good especially in the second half when he got was able to kind of stay out of foul trouble. He's gonna be a problem, and I like that. He's in San Antonio. I think that's the right fit for him. But he looked pretty good for a rookie. Debuting, and just got to stay out of foul trouble, young man. So, start reaching for the ball. Play a little bit smart on the defensive end, but he's going to be one of them, the ones if he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, knock on wood on that, because he is a sight to see on the court. But hey, that's the NBA, and later on in the year, around All-Star break, we'll dive head first into the NBA stuff as the NFL season kind of wraps up. But like I said, midway point of the season. I'm curious to see who's going up from here, who's going down. It's always a team that starts trending up. It's always a team that starts trending down. Who that team is, we'll talk about it when we come back on Tuesday. Let's see, tomorrow, maybe doing a freestyle Friday, but I'm, y'all know me, I'm working on some other stuff. But I gotta see. It's been one of those kind of weeks, man. Been one of those kind of weeks. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. End you off with the phrase to pay. End you off with the phrase to pays over here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.